The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? It's the week of September 23rd, 2019. I am Taylor Cooper. This is Might Be Sports. With me, as always, Kevin Reevy. What up, Reevy?
Just real quick to tidy up our off-mic conversation. I disagree. I think climate change is a thing, but that was off mic. We'll get into the show. Hi, what's up, guys?
Hi, CJ.
How's it going?
Oh my God.
I don't want to get into it again. The show starts now. Let's not worry about that stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't affect sports yet.
Right.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. Because we were just talking about that. Anyway, welcome to Might Be Sports. Kevin Reevy, you're the best.
I know.
So, sports. First thing is first. I just saw, as you know, the day that we were recording, the Phillies' postseason hopes are officially done as of today.
Yep.
September 24th.
Foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was coming. Some people obviously held on to hope. I checked out. I checked out a while ago. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm a Phillies fan. I checked out. When you see a good a postseason run worthy team, and the Phillies have not been that. They looked pretty good, obviously, in the very beginning, but you quickly realize that their pitching just wasn't what the rest of the team could have been. Injuries also played a factor, but disappointing season.
Yeah, pretty much every guy they counted on in the bullpen got hurt.
Yeah.
Really important guys over there. I mean, they went with the trend that it seemed where Major League Baseball was going, where the bullpen was going to be maybe a more important piece than it ended up being this year. That trend, was kind of big last year with the Devil Rays, the Royals in years past. I mean, they had a really dominant bullpen when they won the World Series in 2015. So clearly they wanted to spend the money there, and they brought in some free agents, and they kind of, some decent arms, and, it all went to shit there. And then that really exposes your rotation when, not even that in the offseason. It's that they didn't make the moves in the season to really shore that up. They got Jason Vargas, and he's kind of a joke. You knew exactly what you were getting from that guy. His ERA is going to be, he's really just a space filler, like a number 4, number 5 starter. And, that wasn't a serious move. You could tell, and even the things they were saying at the time were not going to jeopardize the future by making a move now. I'm paraphrasing. That's the kind of statement you make when they're not all in for this season. They kind of saw the writing on the wall. So, Dallas Keuchel would have been a great signing for them, and you keep him away from the Braves, but they didn't do it. That's done. Now, looking forward, what they need to do in the offseason, it's one of those things. If you don't draft well, then you need to sign free agents. But, how much money are they going to tie into mega free agents? But there's guys out there, as far as starting pitching-wise, you got Garrett Cole. I believe he passed the 300 strikeout point. One of just a few guys to have 300 strikeouts with under 200. I don't know how many starts he has left, but he's going to end up with over 300 strikeouts in less than 215 innings pitched, which is pretty damn remarkable. You got to worry about those kind of things, because when your strikeout total is that high, those are rough innings on your arm. Like when you pitch to contact, it just doesn't seem as rough as when you are pitching to miss bats. Those are rougher pitches, if it makes sense. You know what I mean?
Harder on your arm as far as
because you're trying to
the velocity,
miss the bat, the velocity,
you're putting more action on it. I would assume.
Right.
Okay.
The veracity, that's a word too, right? Of the pitch, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just making shit up.
I don't know if it means anything.
Let's say a really hard sinker. That's historically in baseball, a hard sinker has always been a determinant. Like, no, that's tough on your elbow. You know what I mean? So, when you have like an amazing array of power pitches like Garrett Cole, you kind of worry about him long term maybe. But then he's a guy who I believe he's had Tommy John before.
Yeah.
So, he's a free agent. He's a guy you might want to look at. He's going to cost a ton of money. You got Anthony Rendon from Washington. He's fantastic hitter. It's tough to see where you'd play him. If you play him at third base, kind of makes sense. But then they have their top prospect, Alec Bohm, however it's pronounced. Really great hitter. He's the one real gem of their minor league system right now. Maybe the one draft pick. They're not first round draft pick they've gotten right the past few years. So we'll see how it shakes out. I think they have to spend a lot of money in free agency in the offseason just to protect their investment and keep people coming to the park. They have to get people excited. And a rookie is not going to do that, although I think maybe he makes the team out of spring training next year. But that's not going to do it. They need a big name. It's got to be in the starting rotation. That just makes the most sense.
Do you think that Gabe Kapler stays?
Not a chance in hell.
You don't think so?
I think that's the one move they can make where they actually subtract.
Yeah.
And fans will get excited. I think that there's way more fans that don't like Gabe than do like Gabe.
What about what's his name? The general manager, whatever. Klentak. Yeah. Matt
I
Klentak.
think he sticks around because I think it's still a pretty big move. He gets a lot of crap, but I think he did an okay job. I think he saw that, like we're talking about, the bullpen trend. I think he was on the right side of that. He had the right idea. The guys got hurt. Not really his fault. But, man, it was a huge blind spot to not cover that rotation. But it's a tough job. He made some really big signings, and he got some really great players. I think the offensive difference of this team, the moves he made, was light and day from last year to this year.
Yeah.
And Andrew McCutchen was a big part of that, and he got hurt.
He was. Yeah, he was.
So I think if you lose a different player, he was a really important piece you couldn't afford to lose. It really screwed with everything else because you could have put him in that top spot in the batting order, and he would have been there all year long. And you've seen all year long since that injury how they've moved guys around, and it's been awful.
Yeah.
And it kind of messes with things when you're worried about what the hell your batting order is going to be every day, and then you multiply that times the guys who are in those positions worrying about where they're going to be in the batting order. We talked about that before. I think you could say, guys don't care. They're going to go out. They're going to do their job.
Yeah.
But it's just one more thing to think about and to be apprehensive about if you're a player. And it's just one more thing you don't need. I think if you run out as close to the same roster and the same positions every day, you know exactly what your job is every day.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah, I think I agree with you 100% that if Gabe is gone, if Gabe Kapler is fired, that the fans would get fired up by that in a good way. And
I think it's like a Chip Kelly thing.
Yeah.
I was a big Chip Kelly fan, and it took him going away for me to realize, that was dumb. That was really, and I think that could potentially be the situation here right now with Gabe. So once he goes away, I think it'll be a lot easier to see, all right, this was never going to work. It's always weird. And if you're talking about it, like they say, if you're talking about offensive linemen, it means they screwed up.
Yeah.
We're talking this much about Gabe Kapler all the time.
It means he's
probably
up.
doing something wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, just instinctually. So whether or not you look at the X's and O's and you really, you have to do some creative mental gymnastics to keep defending him over and over and over and over again.
Right. When
the results are right there. This is an underperforming team. Period.
Especially for the, payroll that they've got.
Right.
They got Bryce Harper. They got everybody all hyped up for it. And then to deliver just zero efficiency pitching all season has just been ridiculous. It's been hard to watch. I haven't watched. like I said, I checked out a while ago.
But I think they still have a lot of good pieces. I think, they still have Bryce Harper. They got Gene Segura. They got JT Real Muto. Those are big pieces they added. They're still going to be there.
I really hope McCutcheon comes back.
Got McCutcheon coming back. And the good thing about that, he still has the eye. So, I mean, whether he loses something, athletically, you think he's still going to have a good eye at the plate. He's going to give you a good on-base percentage. Maybe he's a guy you could plug in there in the top spot.
Yep.
In the batting
He was doing
order.
great there.
He might bat 250, but his on-base percentage is going to be 370. So,
Right.
I mean, that's something you kind of want, from that top spot. And who knows who else is going to be there. I mean, Rhys Hoskins, I think because he exploded onto the scene so strong, he was breaking home run records left and right, you kind of forget that he was never really necessarily supposed to be a great star. He was one of those guys. I mean, him and Dylan Cousins, if nobody knows who Dylan Cousins is, that's kind of who Rhys Hoskins was supposed to be. Like, you don't really know his name. He was just a guy who hits home runs in the minor leagues. But they were the same guy for 1 or 2 years. They hit like 40 home runs apiece one year on the same team in Lehigh Valley. So, or it might have been Double-A Reading. I'm not sure. But either way, he was never like a first-round draft pick, mega superstar. He was just, he became what he was. And now he's in this huge slump. You don't know which version's right. And we're getting to the point where he has, an equal amount of time being great as well as not so great. So what's real? You don't know. He might just be a 250, 25 home run kind of guy, which is fine, but you need to build around that.
Right.
So they might need one more star. But, man, if they have to sign it, that could be expensive because they need to sign a starting pitcher. I don't really think they're going to get that from the minor leagues.
No.
But, that third baseman, Alec Boehm, he could be that guy.
Right. Very cool. Better luck next year, Phillies. Moving on to college football. I just wanted to bring it up. We didn't talk about it last week at all.
Yeah, why can't we just do that again? That'd be great.
Are they getting paid yet?
Okay, terrific.
It's so, oh, man.
You don't watch at all? Like 0%? Like 0?
Pretty much zero.
Really?
I try to watch
Is like
Notre
anybody in
Dame.
your family into it though? Like your mom I know is like big into the Eagles and stuff. Like anything college football at all?
Not really. I mean, my dad is kind of into it. That's
Yeah.
the reason why I'm not really into it. I mean, he's a Notre Dame fan. My girlfriend and her family, they were really into Notre Dame. They're going to the game, at Notre Dame this weekend. I was supposed to go, but it's like,
Really? You didn't want to go?
no, I actually really wanted to go, but it was a scheduled
I was
thing.
about to
Couldn't
say
go.
that could be a game changer for you. That might get you into it.
I
It's
had-
a bigger thing than the NFL.
Yeah, I had a destination wedding thing last week, so it was like, I can't really make it work. I
Yeah.
gotta stay home. It's too much. It's a big trip.
It's a big trip.
If it was, down the street, I'd catch an Uber. I'd be there. Go Notre Dame. But I don't know. I will watch a Notre Dame game every now and then, but I don't follow this stuff. And you know what? Good, because once they start paying these guys, no one's gonna watch anyway.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to take a lot out of it. Like I am one of the people that feels like there are certain instances where these players should be getting paid for sure. Like appearances, stuff like that. I don't
Video
know-
games.
video games for sure. But like, I don't know how I feel about them getting paid to play football or to play sports in general. Because one of the things that I love so much about college sports, and you see it, I know you physically see it during March Madness, is the intensity of college athletics, right? And I feel like that the money would change that right away in all sports. But at the same time, I do feel like, some of these, they're getting a full ride to school. I understand that. But like, I think that, I don't know. I don't know how they would make that work.
well, the thing is,
So that's why I don't think that it's going to happen.
the argument
anytime
never
soon.
stops.
Yeah.
So people think, okay, we'll pay them this small amount, something, maybe much better players get a percentage. They say we should pay them something because right now they're getting paid nothing. Well, the argument Once we give them a little bit, the next argument is, well, that's not enough. Then, all right, well, now we need to change the pay structure. So let's give them a little bit more. The next argument is, it's still not enough. Look at these guys making, billions off of the industry, and these guys they're getting paid. That's fine. Actually, we're done with that argument because they're getting paid. Now we're 100% in on they're not getting paid enough. It doesn't ever end. The argument, it literally doesn't end because they go 100% into they have to get paid thing. When that's done, it's like, all right, wiping my hands clean of that, 100% now into they're not getting paid enough. To the point where it stops when it is a competing league with the NFL.
Right.
They'll never be paid enough.
And then
that
you actually end up destroying the thing you loved, which is great. Like if you love college, it's why I kind of think it's beautiful because I do not really love college football. It's like, all right, sweet, destroy the thing you love, idiots.
But think about how much money's coming in compared to how many people would have to be paid out. You're seriously looking at maybe $50 a person.
Yeah.
Because, you get whatever for the game rights for TV and whatever EA Sports pays, but divided up how many schools, how many players.
Right.
And then how long before the argument is like, well, hey, the female gymnastics team at Stanford, they work just as hard.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, once you open up that can of worms, it gets messy.
Well, I think that it has to be across the board for all sports. And what if it was just because obviously, like I said, these players, not just football, basketball, also gymnastics, most athletes are getting some sort of scholarship deal going on, right? Not all, but a good amount, I would guess. And so what if you just said, all right, if you make the team, if you make the team, you make X amount of dollars just to be on the team.
But what's the point?
Everybody does, though. It's not just the one thing.
Yeah, but we just said the argument won't stop, and it won't be enough.
It's not going to stop either way.
There's not enough money coming in,
and it's not going to change their lives.
It's not going to stop it is going to change their lives.
No, that's what they say.
Some of these players come from nothing.
They say it's going to change their lives, but then
because they go to the
argument
NFL.
will 100% focus on the ones who say it's not enough.
Most of them don't, though, and that's my point. Is that the players that don't go to the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball, the players that don't go anywhere,
they have a communications degree paid for.
I get you.
Yeah, which is
I
great.
get you, and that is great. I'm just saying maybe,
and not even that.
I agree. The argument won't stop, even if you give them something. They're gonna want people are gonna want to give them more. But the argument's not gonna stop even if you don't give them nothing. So to me, it's just you might as well give them something.
I would love to see a study done, and I'm sure they've done it, to compare, let's see, people who've completed a 4-year degree and were not in athletics and people that were in athletics and completed a 4-year degree and see how they, the average salary of that person 10, 20 years down the road. So, what you're not seeing is you can't put a monetary value on it, but the discipline and hard work you earn and learn while you're in college for 4 years, not just going to class and earning the degree, but competing in athletics, it's very tough. That life is insane. I remember, not that I would have been good enough, but the idea of, playing baseball in college when I was just partying my ass off. Oh man, I got friends who are, they go to practice 5 days a week and they gotta, they have all these classes, then they go to practice, and in the off season they're working out. It's a whole life encompassing thing. And at the time you're thinking, no, what a bummer. But when you do that for 4 years, you become a better person, a better worker. And I got to think that'll help you in the real world. But you don't put a monetary value on that, but it's real.
Yeah.
They come out of college not just with the degree, but with a work ethic that very few people are going to be able to rival.
Sure.
So there's a lot that goes into that. And, my only argument really, if we could find a fair way to end it and say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay some guys and that's it. Now stop arguing. If we could be like when your parents say, all right, I'll get you, the PS4 for Christmas, but next year, keep in mind, we're gonna spend a lot of money this year, but next year, you guys are getting bullshit. You're getting pajamas, and you know what? All the kids, every time they would take that deal, like, sweet, we're getting a PS4. Next year, pajamas. Mom, why do you hate us? Pajamas? This sucks, Mom. PS4 is already broken. They drop Kool-Aid on it because they don't care for their things. Stupid kids. All right, I kind of went on a rant there. But my point is, I'm so jaded by like almost every argument in the world anymore, because once you give somebody what they want, they just want more.
Point blank period. Give every player in the NCAA $20,000 a year.
Can that even be done? Wait, like even
Just done.
field hockey players?
All of them.
That's okay. That's
In the NCAA. I'm not talking about some backwoods, nobody knows who they are,
what we should.
college.
I have an idea for a show. What we should do is we come up with we each get to choose a solution, and we should do a show like they actually did that.
Yeah.
And we're living in that reality.
Give them all $10,000.
And then let's argue as if they already did it. And now we're saying, oh, so last year they gave everybody $10,000. So how about, the arguments they're making now? We try to project what the arguments are that are going forward.
Dude, we solved the NFL pass interference shit last year. We pretty much solved the Major League Baseball net situation as well. I think we can solve this. All right, just give them all $10,000. Call it a day. If you bust your ass as a kid and make it to the college level, NCAA, Division I, $10,000. It doesn't matter what you do. Because give it to them every year. Did they make the team? Because, boom, first of all, the sports is what makes the school so much money in the first place. I mean, depending on the sport, depending on the school. Syracuse, for example, makes most of their money from the basketball program, not necessarily the football program. But all of those people should make the same money. It doesn't matter. Just because some of those players, especially in basketball, one and done, whatever, they don't need anything with that money. They're going on to bigger and better things. But say that one and done player gets hurt in the Final Four, career over. Well, at least he got that $10,000, and at least he can still get that full ride to college. That Ohio State player that breaks his knee in half in the bowl game that doesn't even matter, senior year. You know what I mean? Well, at least he got $40,000 for playing for the past 4 years for Ohio State, and he's got that business degree to move forward with. You know what I mean? It's just like a little bit of something, and it might not matter to some people, but I guarantee it would for some of these guys. You hear about some of these NFL players that came from dirt country roads. I'm sure their family would love a $10,000 paycheck.
All right, everybody would love.
Yeah,
$10,000 free.
But that's and obviously tax it. Obviously, do whatever you got to do with it. But I just think $10,000. Fuck it, the school can definitely do that.
I guess my last word on this is, this whole argument came to be basically because we're talking about these mega college stars, that don't get to cash in on their name.
Right.
So okay, if I'm to take that argument, cool with that. If I were to run with that and say, all right, let's get some of these guys paid, then I start to wonder why we're paying the field hockey players, why we're paying the athletics where the money is not coming in. There's no money to be earned on their name. Now that means the argument has now changed. It's shifted to, well, it's not fair that the one guy gets paid more. Well, it's like, well, this is now bullshit because we had one problem and because we just solved that problem, and now you're bringing up another. This is what I just said. It's never easy, and it's never one problem. You fix that, and then two more problems pop up. So now we're paying everybody because of this one thing. And then what happens when we pay everybody? Now
tuition goes up.
Now somebody else is going to say, well, that's another possibility as well. Now somebody else is going to say, well, I'm not in athletics, but I'm working my ass off in the science department, doing science stuff, doing experiments, trying to solve global cooling, which is what Taylor apparently believes in, because he's a climate change denier. I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't bring this up on the air, but it just really disappoints me. I'm not even upset. I'm just disappointed, but it's okay. We won't talk about it.
Let me just run this by you. Okay, to put a nail in this coffin a little bit.
Okay, I made my last word.
Well,
So,
this is just to put context to what I'm saying,
right.
because I didn't know the answer to this, and I just Googled how many student athletes attend Penn State, and the answer that it gave me is 864 student athletes. There's 481 men and 383 women. So that's you're looking at that's
Not a lot.
Not a lot of money. Comparatively speaking to what Penn State brings in yearly from their football program. You can just single that out.
You don't think there's going to be people that would say, it's weird that you guys are just paying athletes. I don't have the ability to be an athlete, but I'm doing really well in the physics department.
But none of that you're not using your image ever for that. Like, it's totally different. It's different.
I can't give an example because I'm not a physics nerd.
I've seen lacrosse on ESPN2 before, or ESPNU before. I've seen college gymnastics. I've seen college hockey quite a bit. I've seen college volleyball. I've seen those things on TV before. Just scrolling through. If there was a college spelling bee, then that motherfucker should get 10 grand too. Straight up. If your college is on TV, fuck it. Give it to them. Why not? If you're Penn State, why not? If you're Michigan, why not? If you're Stanford, how could you deny that you couldn't afford that? Just shut them up. Just do it.
I'm just saying, for a fact.
I know for a fact that it would never be over. It would never be over.
Unfair that just because they play athletics, they're getting 20 grand a year.
There will always be someone that has a problem with everything. And that's a natural fact of life that I've come 100% to just accept. But the fact remains is that they could do something about this if they wanted to. And that's my point. They could. They could. Currently, they haven't, which to me means they don't want to.
And I'm a guy that actually thinks, college is kind of bullshit. And,
it is. It is.
Malcolm Gladwell, he did a podcast on it, and it's probably in his books too. Way more into his podcast than his books. I've been told they overlap, so one or the other. He did a thing about how much money some of these colleges have, just like on the books in the back room, just chilling, and like it's a money machine. It's unbelievable. I mean, I don't even want to throw out the numbers because it seems absurd, and I'm probably totally wrong, but it's just an unfathomable amount of money these institutions bring in. And yeah, they can afford to pay everybody $1 million a year.
Yeah, they could.
So I think that whole system is kind of in need of a restructuring to begin with, but I'm not sure it needs to be done in athletics. But that's me.
If you start low, you can work your way up. Like you said, I mean, it's never going to be good enough. So you start with like 10 grand. 10 grand to every athlete. Not only would it encourage people to try out for athletics, but it would also encourage the best of the best to make it, you would think.
And then there's LaMelo Ball. Said, screw it.
Yeah. Went to Lithuania.
Make my money now.
Yep. And he could be the first number 1 overall pick in the draft.
You know why it's never going to happen? Because, well, there's so many reasons why. You'd be insane to take this guy number 1 and it having nothing to do with his measurables. Because if you're trying to find a comparison player, what better comparison than his brother? Right? Just makes perfect logical sense. Who is currently flaming out in the NBA.
Yeah.
So do you want to take
Oh, we'll see
guy
how
who
he does.
shares his DNA,
Yeah.
literally, and comes with the whole family thing that's been a pain in the ass and was part of the reason why he's no longer playing in LA right now.
Listen, I'm not a fan
I mean,
of his. I'm not a fan of his.
That's why
But
he'll
I'd like to
never
see-
go number one.
I'd like to see what happens with him in New Orleans, though. I think he could be effective down there.
Yeah, he's an interesting player.
Yeah.
I just think you have an example of him in Lonzo.
Agreed. I agree.
It's not working out too well.
Yeah, I agree.
So I wouldn't. I mean, lottery pick, they say, what do I know? But they're saying he's a lottery player. But to take him number one, you already know enough to know that's an insane risk.
It's going to be interesting. I don't know if he'll go number one overall, but I'm willing to bet he'd go pretty high up.
It's weird. I haven't looked at the 2020 draft yet, and I'm way more into college basketball. It's funny, I talk all kinds of shit on college sports, and I love March Madness so much. And real quick, the point on that's a great example of, the tournament that's only gotten bigger from its original format.
Right.
And every year, what do you hear? We need more teams. There's 64 goddamn teams.
Right.
You need more teams? That's insane. That's an example of the argument never ends. You can
Right.
make it 128, and they'd say, oh, man, if you could only squeeze in just 2 more, these guys really deserve to be in there. Bullshit. The argument never ends. What you do is you just put your hands over your ears and say, not listening. It's good. It makes money. People like it. And if you're upset with it, good. I mean, that fuels the debate. That makes things more popular when people hate it.
Yeah. No, that's true. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do Guess the Spread and Clickbait. And we'll talk some more NFL stuff and do our Go to the Week and get out of here. We'll be right back after this. Hey, Taylor Cooper here, and if you're looking for real, all-natural relief from stress and muscle soreness, you've got to check out our friends at Eunomia CBD. Eunomia CBD products are grown and processed in the USA, nano-amplified, 100% THC-free, and third-party lab tested. Order anywhere in the U.S. and use promo code MBN to get free shipping plus 20% off your entire order just for our listeners. What are you waiting for? Is stress wearing you down? Are sore muscles getting in the way of your weekend plans? Eunomia CBD is a game changer. I personally love their menthol pain relief lotion. Their gummies are delicious, and they even have CBD treats for your dogs. Go to eunomiacbd.com, check out all their products, and don't forget to use promo code MBN for an extra 20% off your order plus free shipping. It's your life. Feel better. Eunomia CBD. That's EUNOMIA. EUNOMIA CBD.com. Go there now. Use MBN as the promo code. Get 20% off and free shipping. Must be 18 years old or older to purchase.
So you've been listening to the Might Be News Network, but you still can't get enough each week? Become our patron on Patreon. Head to patreon.com/MBN Network to become a patron and get exclusive content now. For as little as $5 per month, you'll get access to extended episodes of all your favorite shows, as well as perks including MBN merch and monthly giveaways. Just want to support the network? Become a patron for as much or as little as you'd like. Get bonus content each week and head to patreon.com/MBN Network. Your contributions help us make this network bigger and better than ever before. Patreon.com/MBN Network.
Welcome back to Might Be Sports. Go to eunomiacbd.com, like you heard in the ad there. Check it out. I'm telling you, it's great stuff. Use promo code MBN for an extra 20% off your order and free shipping. It's fantastic stuff. I'm telling you, it's great. Shout out to those guys. And also, I made a couple other announcements this week on Might Be News, in case you missed it. One of them was that we're starting we've got a new show coming. And I've talked to these guys. I talked to Ahmed. I talked to Carl. And I talked to the Might Be the Might Be Tunes guys. And this is just going to be a total revitalization of Might Be Tunes. We're going to have a weekly sit down, Might Be Tunes with me, Carl, and Ahmed, and we're going to have the companion Spotify
Talk about
playlist.
cartoons.
We're going to talk about cartoons and
Totally changing the format. I love it.
So then we're going to
Hanna-Barbera all the way.
And then when we have some live acts, which we have a couple booked up in October, we're going to record them and put them out as the Might Be Tunes live from the pit. Sound like a deal? Work for you?
Sounds like a deal.
I like it. So tune into that. Next Friday is the season 2 premiere of Might Be Tunes. It's a big deal. It's a big fucking deal. Tune in next
Language,
Friday.
Taylor.
It's big time. It's big time.
I just don't understand why you have to curse all the time. It's all I'm asking. I just don't know why.
CJ, you ready for Guess the Spreads?
I am ready.
Reeve, you ready for Guess the Spreads?
Born ready. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Eagles at Packers.
17. Eagles are going to win by, well, and they'll cover that spread. No, I'm thinking +4. Eagles.
I think the spread is Packers by 5. And then I think that the Eagles win. I do.
Packers -5.
Really?
Nailed it.
Bing, 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 bing.
Panthers at Texans.
I'm going to go Texans by 4.
Man, I think Texans should be favored by 8.
Texans -4.5.
All right, go Texans. I mean, oh man, the Panthers are a mess. You need to jump all over the Texans. I'm not a gambling man myself, but I would throw some money on the Texans for that one for sure. Let's revisit this next week.
Browns at Ravens.
Interesting one,
Man.
because I mean, Lamar Jackson kind of went Lamar Jackson last game, but he wasn't terrible.
He was really good. He looked really good.
But it wasn't like, he finally had to play somebody,
Yeah.
and it didn't go
He did his thing,
how
though.
it went
He did his thing.
before. It was okay.
Yeah, it
Pretty good.
wasn't the same, though. It wasn't the same. You're right.
That's why, I've kind of changed. I'm open to changing my opinion on Lamar Jackson. I just think need a bigger sample size.
Right.
I can't argue this whole, I argue it across the board. You can't argue after 2 or 3 games for anyone.
Sure.
So I got to be consistent with that across the board. So, yeah, I'll go. Man, that's a tough one. Pick. When in doubt, pick.
I'm going Baltimore by 3.
Baltimore -7.
Oh, yeah. See, it's in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was
yeah.
in Cleveland, but what they say, like a home field's like 2 points, so I still would have been way off.
Chiefs at Lions.
Oof. I'm going. Oh, is it my turn? Yeah, it is. I'm going Chiefs by like 14.
Annihilation, Jim.
The Lions are a lot better than I thought offensively. They have a lot of weapons. Although I think Matt Stafford's a little overrated. So what'd you say?
What did I say?
What was your guess?
By 7, I think.
I think you said more than that. I wasn't really.
I might have said more than that.
That's funny. No, doesn't matter.
That's how long we remember.
Doesn't matter. It's a silly segment. Let's go Lions +8.
Lions +6.
Okay.
So we'll do Chargers at Dolphins.
I hate the Chargers. I don't think they're very good. I'm feeling very validated. It's like anybody. You make some predictions before the year, and you don't talk about the ones you were horrifically wrong about, but you just pound your chest and about all the ones you just happen to be right about. So far, again, to be fair, only 3 games in, Chargers don't look as good as maybe everybody thought they were going to be. That being said, I already forget who they're playing. Say it again.
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
At Dolphins.
Okay, at Dolphins. Man, if this is too high, I'd be all over the Dolphins on this one. Okay, Chargers by 14.
I'm going Chargers by 10.
Chargers -16.
Damn.
I think it's too high.
Annihilation, Jim.
And it's so tough to bet the Dolphins right now because if you look at the final score against the Cowboys, all right, they covered big, what was it, like 31-6 or whatever. It was a 10-6 game at halftime, maybe less. I'd have to go back and look at that. So you're not sure if the Dolphins were actually competing or if the Cowboys aren't that good or if it's just one of those weird games where you can't really judge one way or the other. So we'll see. This is going to be a really interesting game. I'm kind of leaning go Dolphins on that one.
Patriots at Bills.
Well, the 3-0 Bills look pretty good, but the 3-0 Patriots look really good. I'm going Patriots by 12.
This is like historically what we expect. The Bills are feeling good about themselves, and the Patriots are like, don't be so sure.
Yep.
So, Patriots by 10, and you bet the Patriots all day long.
All day.
Patriots -7.
Oh, you bet the Patriots all day long
All
and
day
feel
long.
great about it.
Yeah.
You just say, hey, I mean, do you want me to wait, Mr. Bookie, until the game's over, or just want to give me my money now?
Right.
All right, if you want to go through the whole thing.
Raiders at Colts.
Which, by the way, I like to interject with unnecessary rants. What's life like for a bookie right now?
It's pretty crazy. Can
you still be a bookie?
I don't think you really, because you can go casino or on your phone now.
That's wild.
Like, what do they have to offer? Like,
weird bets. Like if you want to do something very unusual that the casino's not going to cover.
Is it like bookie and free cookies? I'm the cookie bookie. So like, yeah, that'd be awesome. You lose a bet, he sends you a batch of cookies. I'd go with that guy. Well, you got to think outside the box if you're in the bookie game right now.
Hey, yeah.
Well, look at the casinos. You can cancel your bet for what? You get like 75% back if it's not going your way.
It's so funny. I see these ads like more ways to win. It's like, who's falling for this stuff?
Right.
Like there never are more ways to win that make it, more than 50-50.
Right.
Because then they're losing money. And then all you'd have to do is just throw all your money on it. You'd be statistically guaranteed to win. There might be more ways to win. That means there's also more ways to lose.
Right.
But people just see like, oh, I can't lose. No, just don't be dumb. Gambling's, I think, still very bad.
It is.
And it's going to just bite
It's a skill.
a lot of people in the ass. Of course, CJ feels otherwise because he's the luckiest man on the planet.
What do you got next, CJ?
Raiders at Colts.
I'm going to go Raiders by 3.
Let's keep this moving along. Raiders by 2.
Colts -7.
God.
What?
Really?
I don't understand anything if
Are they
that's
good?
real.
Did that happen?
Really?
Yeah, that's what.
I think the Raiders are better than that.
I thought so.
I think they got a little thing called Moxie. And that's good for like 8 points.
Well,
Knock on wood if you're with me. All right?
almost 8 points in the other directions. Titans at Falcons.
Titans at Falcons. Falcons by... I kind of want to do like the old school NFL Films voice. Falcons by 7.
I'm going to go Titans by 7.
Falcons -4.
Wow.
Redskins at
all right.
Giants.
God, what a shit bowl. Giants by a pretty decent amount if that dude can play like he did last week.
This might be a game where this could be another where it's like you're just taking money from a baby.
Yeah, I'll go Giants -7.
Giants, -6.
Giants -3.
Ooh, Price is right at you right there, bitch.
Wow, that's crazy because like the Redskins really look bad.
Seahawks at Cardinals.
Seahawks at Cardinals. Weird, because Cardinals kind of seem they might be on the way up. Seahawks maybe on the way down. I believe in the Seahawks more than most people. But I'll go...
Where is this game?
Arizona.
Right?
Arizona.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was about to say if it's in Seattle, that means a lot.
When in doubt, either go pick when it's close or -7 when you think it's not so close. So I'll go -7. It's my cop out.
I'm going Seattle -7.
Seattle -5.
Are we allowed to guess the same? Yeah, I guess we are.
Bucks at Rams.
Rams keep that winning streak going. Rams by 4.
Got to be more than that. Rams by I'm gonna nail this. Let's get okay. Rams by 7.5.
Rams -9.5.
Damn it! I knew it was a half.
God.
Jags at Broncos.
Okay.
Broncos are bad.
Yeah, they are. They are very bad. Jags. I don't know. I don't have a great read on that. Well, like I said, pick 'em. It's got to be close to a pick 'em.
That's got to be close to a pick 'em. Yeah, I'll go. Where is this game?
Denver.
Going Denver by 3.
There you go. Broncos -3.
Damn it.
Vikings at Bears.
I guess it's you on that one.
Vikings at Bears. Bears looked okay Monday night. I mean, I still like Mitch Trubisky. He looked good for one half of the game. I don't know. I don't believe in them. I think their defense is absolutely incredible, though. Bears win the game by 7.
This is going to hit the under. Look up what the under is for this one also, by the way. This looks to me, I'm going to go Bears favored by 4.
It's Bears -2.5.
God,
Okay.
that's
What's
close,
the
man.
over-under on there? Is it on there?
Well, I would have to click and go out of
Vegas
Good
really
point.
doesn't like Mitch Trubisky.
Cowboys
their
at
team's
Saints.
Low scoring game.
Their team looks great otherwise, in my opinion.
Cowboys at Saints.
Man, I think the Saints could win this one.
I really hope they do,
I don't know, but
especially in New Orleans.
this was going to be a tough game. This was when the Cowboys were finally going to get their asses beat.
If Seattle,
bullshit.
if the Saints didn't go into Seattle and do what they did last weekend, I wouldn't think twice about Dallas winning this game.
Well, all right. I'm looking up what Bridgewater did last week. It ain't pretty. He's got 2 touchdown passes, but only 177 yards. I hate that. That's like bad Dak Prescott that I always used to talk about,
Yeah.
where like the yardage was just ugly. Not a good sign. So, America loves Dallas right now. They're going to be favored by 7.5.
I'll go Dallas by 5.
Dallas -2.5.
Really?
Wow, that's almost a pick 'em.
That tells you maybe people don't love Dallas yet.
Yeah.
And
And
then
they did not kill Miami. Again, like that game, and Dak didn't have that great a game. And for the second consecutive game, he didn't throw for 300 yards. I'm nitpicking because he's having a great year so far through 3 games, but I'm thinking maybe you see that fall apart a little bit.
Good.
But you could never bet on that game.
They also played nobodies the first 3 weeks.
Even if you like the Saints, I mean, 2.5 points, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not.
Bengals at Steelers.
Another shit bowl.
Whose turn is it? My turn.
Yeah, yours.
You say Bengals at Steelers?
Yes.
Okay.
For Monday night.
Yikes. Yeah, the Monday night games have been brutal. So the Sunday night game is the Cowboys game.
Yep.
I'm
Right.
really going to enjoy that one. That's
Yeah,
going to be a
that's a
fun
good
one to
one.
watch.
Yep.
Okay, it's in Cincinnati?
No.
In
it's
Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh.
Right. Wow. If there's a pick on this schedule, this one's got to be it. Pick all day. It's got to be a pick.
I'm going Cincinnati by.
Pick.
I don't doubt that it's pick, but for just to not do the same thing, I'm going to go Cincinnati by 1.
Steelers -4.
Really?
So bad at this. What's the Steelers and it's the Bengals, but I don't know what the Bengals did last week. I got to look that up, but I mean, they did well offensively the first 2 games, and it kind of gives you a little bit of hope. But yeah, okay, so they got beat by the Bills, close game, didn't score a ton of points. Andy Dalton kind of comes back to earth, 249, 1 touchdown. Yeah, didn't really light it up offensively last week, so I could see that. But they were raising a few eyebrows. They got some talented receivers on that team. I don't know. I think you go Bengals in that one. I think the Steelers are kind of a mess.
Yeah, they're a mess.
They're getting like a historical bonus.
Yeah, it's bad. Ready for clickbait?
Yep.
Clickbait.
Clickbait. So gimmicky.
Dennis Rodman clowns Antonio Brown. How to ruin your career 101.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. I agree 100%. 100%.
What career?
Right, it's gone now.
I mean, it's literally it's over.
And he's what is he?
ruined.
He's filed a motion against the Patriots for that $10 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wants his money.
it's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
I think he's got a case though. To be
I
fair.
think he does too.
He doesn't deserve it, but
No,
I
he
think he
doesn't.
definitely has a case. Depending on what the conversation was and what the contract was. I don't know if you could do those kind of contracts, but there might be something, the language in there being, maybe it was more strict than a regular contract where if you step out of line, if there's a distraction like this, or this, then, we have the right to cancel the whole thing.
I would assume that for that amount of money, you have to be there for a certain amount of time.
And a morality clause is probably involved in that too.
Right.
So they're going to pull those allegations.
But there's no criminal complaint yet.
Right.
And this thing still has to play itself out.
I just saw today that people are, I don't remember if people press charges against him or whatever, but he was throwing stuff out of a 14-floor window out of his condo.
Wait, we're getting
We're
there.
not done yet?
That was
Okay.
an old story.
I thought that
Did he
just
do that
happened.
before?
Well,
We're getting
there.
We're getting there. Okay,
Okay.
CJ. Okay.
all right. So the next story before we get to that is Lenny Dykstra calls off Bagel Guy boxing match.
This
Won't
is
be
so
rescheduled.
Disappointing because, my girlfriend's going to the Notre Dame game this weekend. My weekend was free.
To watch Lenny Dykstra
little
versus
bit
the
free.
bagel guy.
I was going to make some phone calls, get some tickets.
Actually, what's funny is that, no, I shouldn't mention that. I'll mention it next week after I do the thing because the guy that this regards might be listening to this and it would ruin that thing. Anyway, great pod, right? Great pod talk.
Great pod.
I'm an idiot. No, anyway.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah, I'm such an idiot. No, I really did want to go to this fight, and it would have been a cool thing to maybe report on for my new thing. I've been writing NFL stuff for the acespader.com. Check that out.
Very cool.
I got a really cool article I did 2 weeks ago. Got a new one coming out this week, and a new one next week I'm working on with Andrew DeCecco. That could be a really cool story. We'll talk about it on the pod in 2 weeks. But yeah, got my first article up there called... What the hell did I title that damn thing? The fastball that launched the NFL. Really cool story. Check it out. Anyway, I wanted to go write a story on this damn fight because, it's boxing, it's sports, and, it's Lenny Dykstra. It's got a baseball thing. His site's mostly baseball stuff. And it was a long shot that I was going to go to begin with. I have to babysit my girlfriend's blind dog. Do a whole pod on that one day. Fascinating stuff. It's like a Roomba running into crap on the ground. It can't see anything. It's probably got 37 concussions at this point. Protocol is out the window. I mean, but it's a happy dog, we think. Not really. Not really. It's depressed all the time. It just sleeps and just begs for food. It's really sad. Anyway, on a bright note, Bagel Boss. What's he going to do, huh?
Don't worry.
Nobody to fight. What's going to happen here?
Don't worry. There's a story coming up.
Fans are crushed.
Next.
Tiki Barber, Daniel Jones can take the Giants to playoffs this season.
This is what I'm talking about. Overreactions.
Yeah.
Small sample size. People get crazy.
Yeah, calm down.
Nyjah Houston turns skating trophy into beer chalice. Hits the bars.
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought, because it was like a skateboarding thing, I thought he literally hit bars. In my head, I'm thinking he's
so Nyjah Houston
skating,
won
carrying the trophy.
Street League. So he has the trophy, finds out it holds a cup perfectly, and was using it as a chalice.
Oh, and he put it in the bar. Okay.
And then he was going around with the bars with the trophy, putting the glass in it.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Nelson Aguilar, no hard feelings to baby saving hero. Come to a game, bro.
Love it. I love it.
I don't know. I kind of want him to be a little insulted.
I don't know, man.
Don't come to that game, dude. It's a trick.
Nelson Aguilar, the Eagles are a couple of Nelson Aguilar drops away from being 3-0 right now.
Everybody's seen the video now of that guy making the comment, catching the babies and all. My problem with this is that there's multiple videos.
He did it for everybody.
The joke gets kind of hacky when he keeps telling it over and over again.
Right.
In the moment, it's like, oh, what a great, funny thing to say. But he keeps doing it over and over. It's like, all right, this is a rehearsed thing.
Yeah.
Not as cool.
Yeah.
He set the fire to save the babies to
this is to do it.
The plot thickens.
Odell Beckham refused to wear chain versus Talib, noted chain snatcher.
Probably a smart move. He does snatch chains quite a bit.
It's so dumb.
I kind of like it.
I mean, me and CJ were talking about this yesterday where like athletes get upset when you say something like shut up and play, shut up and dribble. And it's like, well, we really only care about you playing, about you dribbling the basketball. Like we really don't care what you have to say about anything else. You are just another person. I mean, your opinions politically and everything else. Because you're great at basketball, it's insane to think that you could solve global warming. I mean, it really is insane. So how about forget the fashion line.
Money solves a lot of things.
Play football and then do whatever you want to do. But when you bring it into the game,
what does that have to do with?
It's annoying.
What does that have to do with snatching chains?
The chains, the watches, the whole, like the extra.
The fake watch.
The extra is just, it's unnecessary. And then they complain, well, I don't understand why the NFL is coming after me. Because literally nobody else is doing this.
With the watch, a lot of people
You're
wear
doing
chains.
it to yourself.
A lot of people wear chains.
Right, but there's a separate argument there. When you have that scenario where it's like, well, I'm not going to wear my chain because it could be a problem today. It's like, how about you just never wear the chain? Is that big? What's it doing to help your game?
Could have a cross on it. You never know.
Could
go in there.
Could
Yeah.
be a lucky charm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's actually not a bad idea. The whole faith argument. All
Could be a
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Next.
Antonio Brown arrives for deposition in condo trashing case. Wild furniture throwing video appears.
Yes. See, that's what I'm talking about. He's throwing stuff out of a 14-story building.
Those extra footprints in the end zone. That was God carrying me.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Antonio Brown is a done deal. And at this point, the XFL is not even going to touch him. Done deal.
Well, aren't they still not taking anyone convicted of a crime?
That's what I'm saying. Done deal.
And last one. Celebrity boxing. Screech to replace Lenny Dykstra. Will fight Bagel Guy.
Oh, God.
I got a theory on this Dykstra thing that I don't think anybody's talking about. I think he has a lawsuit against the state of California
Yes.
when he was arrested a few years ago that he was assaulted.
Yes. And that's what he has to get ready for. That's why he can't box.
The idea is it caused damage. And I'm guessing they're going to argue neurological damage. If he decides to do a celebrity boxing match where he gets punched in the head, don't you think that's going to hurt his $15 million whatever dollar argument against the state of California? This seems pretty obvious, right?
I think he has enough to go on before the boxing match to prove that he's lost his mind.
But you totally destroy your argument if you then voluntarily get into a ring and have your brains bashed in, which would never happen because if you look at the size of that dude.
Lenny Dykstra is...
Lenny Dykstra's older. And
favorite.
Lenny Dykstra doesn't look like he's in shape to do much at all. Like he looks weird. But
So here might be the question
still a
of what
former
bookies
pro
are
athlete.
doing now. Because while we're talking, I'm going to look up Sugar House to see if I can bet on the Screech Bagel Guy fight. Because if they don't have it, then you would have to find your corner cookie bookie.
That's true.
We have about 5 minutes left. Let's see. Going through the NFL standings, you got the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots undefeated in the AFC East. They're facing off this weekend, so that's going to be interesting. The AFC North is trash. Breaking news. The AFC North is trash. Baltimore Ravens are on top, 2-1. Cleveland Browns 1-2. The Bengals and the Steelers 0-3. AFC South, Houston Texans and the Colts are both 2-1. Jacksonville and Tennessee 1-2. AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs undefeated as well. Raiders and Chargers 1-2. Broncos 0-3. They look bad. Flacco is just not the answer. NFC East, Dallas Cowboys 3-0. Eagles and the Giants 1-2. Redskins 0-3. NFC East not looking too hot right now either. NFC North, the Packers 3-0. The Lions 2-0-1. The Vikings 2-1. The Chicago Bears 2-1. That looks like the powerhouse division kind of in the NFC right now. NFC South, Saints 2-1. The Buccaneers 1-2. Atlanta Falcons and Carolina Panthers are also 1-2. So that's all knotted up. NFC West, we got the Rams 3-0, 49ers 4-0, Seahawks 2-1, and the Cardinals 0-2-1. What are the biggest surprises to you so far this season before we do go to the week?
I'm a little surprised Dak is playing so well.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen enough against any kind of talented defense. Nothing even coming close to a respectable defense he's had to go up against. So I'm looking forward to see where that goes. Besides that, I don't know. Big surprises? Is anybody jumping out as a big surprise? I think the big surprises are probably on the negative end. You see how poorly the Browns are playing. That's a little bit of a surprise. I wonder. That's one thing, we wanted to touch on. We could touch on real quick. Lamar Jackson versus Baker Mayfield.
That was going to be my standout surprise so far was Lamar Jackson.
And that's the thing. I mean, I was not a Baker Mayfield guy last year or even 2 years ago. I didn't believe in him. I kind of have, for the most part, I have a mold in my head and I play the stats on it. I want my starting quarterback to be taller because that is one more thing that gives you a better chance to compete because the better quarterbacks are taller. It's just the way it is.
Right.
So you're already starting at a disadvantage when you don't have that.
Right.
So I wasn't a big fan of his, but I saw him just complete these passes and really compete really well. So I became a Baker Mayfield fan last year. And now I'm wondering, as the sample size, same with Reese Hoskins, we talked about with baseball, bringing this around. Once he starts to put in an equal amount of time that's as bad as he was good, makes you rethink it. For the same reasons, I'm now starting to rethink Lamar Jackson. But for both guys, it's going to take a much bigger sample size.
Let's go to the week.
Be Sports presents the greatest of all time.
Of the week. I can't find a better go to the week candidate this week than Carson King. It's the guy. He's all over the place. Iowa State fan in the crowd, holding up the sign against when they were going against Iowa in week 2 or 3. I don't know, whatever. Rivalry week. Yeah. Yes. He was holding up the sign, looking for beer money. Gave out his Venmo information, and he's over $1 million. He's got Bush
and Venmo
matching, and he's donating all the money to the Children's Hospital outside of Iowa, Hawkeye Stadium. Mm-hmm. Absolutely incredible stuff. Carson King is my go to the week.
All right, so this is kind of obvious, but this guy could be the GOAT every week, probably this whole season, and we'll see where the Chiefs go. But currently being led by Patrick Mahomes, they are amazing.
Yep.
So far, these are his first 3 games. We got 378 yards and 3 touchdowns, completing 75% of his passes. That's game 1. Game 2, 443 yards and 4 touchdowns, completing 68% of his passes. Game 2. Now, game 3, we got 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, completing 73% of his passes. By the way, all 3 games, not 1 interception. Only sacked 3 times, which helps. Great offensive line over there in Kansas City. So he's 3-0, completing 72% of his passes, leading the NFL with 1,195 yards so far and 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And last year, 50 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. This guy is starting off so hot. It's amazing. And you still kind of feel like not enough people are talking about him. He's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Absolutely. 100%.
So this is one of those guys that'll be very interesting. I might write a story on him for the Aces Spaders site because he's the kind of guy, his site is more stat-centric, and this guy screams stats because he's going to break a ton of records if he keeps going on this trajectory. But, man, you saw what Andrew Luck did last year when he had that streak of 3 touchdowns a game, and he was going after records. Just so funny to think that he's retired right now. But you could see Pat Mahomes go all season throwing 3 touchdowns a game. Easily.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So it's crazy to think what this guy is capable of doing. And this is why, again, I hate everyone who says, don't draft a quarterback till the 3rd or 4th round of the fantasy. You don't take a quarterback that early. You can't take him first round. Why not? He's the best player. It's so dumb. Sometimes I hate fantasy football. I don't get it. Take Patrick Mahomes first overall and just slide into the playoffs.
Right.
I say that especially because I took Saquon Barkley in a couple leagues, and now he's damaged goods.
So, you cannot bet on the celebrity boxing, but I'm letting everyone know August 31st, 2020, they're taking bets for Mayweather-Pacquiao 2.
Really?
It's not even a thing yet, though, is it? It's not an actual fight.
It's close enough that they're
That's
accepting
not
bets.
an announced fight, though.
It's not announced, but it has to be close for them to start taking bets.
And I think there will eventually be some sort of way to bet on the celebrity boxing thing. It's just too new, right?
Because it's not fully recognized in every state. Like,
yeah, but there's some shady websites.
Yeah, no, you could do on the shady web, but that would also be your bookie still.
I don't know.
Excellent job tonight, guys. Everybody go to patreon.com/MBN Network to keep listening to what we're doing here. Get involved with the Fantasy League.
Hey,
we're going to keep going here for another 30 minutes.
Eat bagel bites. I mean, they're not a sponsor, but they're delicious.
They're delicious. Go to eunomiacbd.com. Check it out. Enter promo code MBN, 20% off free shipping. Thanks for listening, guys.